Okay, so today I did a pottery class with my family, and I'd done it before, but literally it took me 15 minutes trying to put the freaking block of clay in the center, right? So you put it in a circle, you put it in the center, and then you spin the wheel, and so you have to really center it. Because the first time I did pottery, I tried to center it myself. What ended up happening, if it was a millimeter off, the thing's spinning and it's like a wobble. It's like whoop, 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 whoop. And you're now trying to make a bowl and you're trying to craft a perfect cylinder. What ends up happening is you just break the thing. It's impossible to hold your hand still when the clay is fighting against your hand. It's fighting when it's a wobble. When you get it centered, so this time I was like, okay, I need to make sure it's centered. So the first bowl I made today, I was like, look, ma'am, will you just center it for me? Because I'm spending like 10 minutes trying to get this thing centered, and I think I'm close, but I knew it was a millimeter off, and I just couldn't get it there. And so she puts it in the center and make this awesome bowl. So the second bowl, I was like, okay, I'm gonna center. 10 more minutes, couldn't do it. So I was like, hey, I forget her name, Brittany or something like that. She was the instructor today, and she's like, okay, I'll do it again for you, and made another perfect bowl. And I learned, because the very first time I ever did pottery, I didn't have an instructor that was willing to center it for me. She made me center myself. What an interesting principle. If your ball of clay is not centered, you're always going to have this wobble. You're always going to break. The bowl is never going to come out perfect. But if you get it centered, I built two awesome, I built like the Holy Grail. It was like this cool little mug. I'll have to show you after they fire it. And then I built this cool little thing. But think how that applies in life. Is if we have somebody that we're willing to be humble enough to be like, hey, come center me. You know what you're doing. You're the expert. You're the one that actually has done this for a long time. I don't know a thing about pottery. Come help me out. And in 2 seconds, literally, she puts her hand on the clay. In 2 seconds, I've been hacking at this thing. She goes, boom, centers it, boom. I make a dope bowl. And a lot of times we fail to think, where are we? Are we centered? Are we grounded? Are we wobbling in our business? Are we wobbling in life? Are we wobbling in our sales? Are we just going out there, oh, it doesn't matter if there's a little wobble. It's not perfect, but might as well go out there. It's better than nothing, right? I'd rather make a bowl instead of not even spin the wheel. But at the end of the day, I promise you, within 2 seconds, an expert, some outside eyes, getting to the 30,000 foot view, you're going to have a much better perspective. So that's why we put together podcasts, consulting, speaking. I was in Kansas City. I spoke in front of 100 contractors yesterday, and it was so cool to see how guys that have been in business for 20 years are mind blown when they're just like, oh, that's what I need to do. I am so in the weeds, boom. The Sales Summit coming up in March. I want to invite those that are sitting on the fence right now to ask yourself, I get to go hang out with the top 1% sales dudes in a mansion where I get one-on-one time. There's only 10 to 15 people per industry going, and I get to be with the best so that they could center me for 3.5 days, and so then I can have a killer peak season. Or I could fast forward, it's September, October, and you're like, oh wow, I didn't hit my sales numbers. Oh wow, I didn't really get the results I wanted to make. Oh wow, I'm getting the same numbers I do every year. Okay, that's because you're sitting there on a wobbly wheel. Don't be on a wobbly wheel. Get centered. Contact us. We're looking to help people. We're looking to make a difference. We're looking to center you so that you can just perfectly craft your bowl and get the results that you want to get. Love you guys. There's your little nugget for the day.